What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Ranger Talk episode. And today I'm going to be chatting with, I have special guests. I'm going to be talking with Eric and Hale of the Clockwork Metal Masters band, Tales of Arken. How's it going?
Fine, thank you so much.
Yeah,
And
thank you
for
so much for
having us on
taking
your
the
channel.
time to chat with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we were really looking into it. So
Awesome.
it's great for us.
Great. So you both having a decent day so far? It's been a pretty good day for you?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
more or
kind of,
less,
okay.
right? So, the first question I have to ask, Tales of Arken. Where does that name come from, the band name exactly?
That's a really hard question to ask many times because it's like we always get started with telling about where Tales of Arky comes from. And it's like a depressing story because I used to have a dog when I was actually younger. Like 10 years ago, I had a dog and he was called Arken.
Oh,
And when that dog passed away, I thought like, someday I want to make a song or an album or something like that called Arken. But when we make the band Arken, we started with a name. We released our first album, Chronicles of the Fall, under the name of Arken, just Arken. But we saw that more bands had the same name, and we didn't want like trouble with them.
mhm.
So we were like making that song Nautilus, that we were trying to tell a different story, like some kind of storytelling metal.
Yeah.
And we thought like we maybe we can keep the Arkan side, but adding something new. And we thought, well, Tales of Arkan sounds good, and that's where
Yeah,
they come from.
wow, that's so cool. I mean, like you said, it kind of has like a depressing start to the story,
Yeah,
but it's also like a really, it's a very meaningful. You don't always get that with bands to where the name of the band is that meaningful. That's very meaningful. And like you said, adding the Tales of Arken adds almost like a mystical or adventurous
yeah.
story kind of vibe to it. So that's
Tales of Dog.
Tales of what?
Tales of Dog.
Tales of Dog. Yeah.
Tales of Dog.
Yes, and I'm
Oh,
pretty
that's
happy
so cool.
that my band members accepted to have that name because I didn't know them when I had that dog. And then when we were talking about what name shall we pick, I told them, well, I used to have a dog. He was really important to me. Maybe we can have that dog name because it's like something that I have on myself. I have to say it done. And they were like, if it's cool for you, if it is important for us, it's okay. And then, well, thank you so much. Really,
Yeah.
Arken sounds good.
It does sound cool, and it sounds very unique. It's intriguing. You hear the name, oh, there's this band, Tales of Arken. It's like, ooh, it's intriguing. It's got a nice sound to it, so it's perfect.
thank
Um,
you.
I know the band has a lot of steampunk vibes to it, and I know you even call yourselves Clockwork Metal Band. Oh, I see the gears. Yeah,
Yes.
there it is.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So where does that come from? Does the whole band, are y'all really into the whole steampunk vibe and all that?
I think that's some kind of a joke, isn't it? Because we don't think that we like made a new metal genre
Gender something.
out of the blue. It's like we don't like to call ourselves just power metal. We don't want to be just progressive metal. We are just trying to be ourselves. So and maybe people will get drawn into it if we call ourselves global metal. Or maybe they will think like, what are these guys are talking about? Is global metal doesn't exist.
How did that
But
how did that start? Do you just have a love for like the steampunk style, or
Yeah, I think that like we wanted to be different and like you know not only in performance but also in music. Uh, so we wanted something different And I think that steampunk is like, whoa.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. It's like we didn't know. We thought that we needed something different to draw people attention, to have something unique, not only the music but just the looks. And we were like lost. Like, what shall we do about our aesthetics? And we tried on Nautilus, the steampunk side, but it's just for trying. We didn't thought let's be a steampunk from now on forward. It was something like let's do a video, let's try it. And when we saw the video, it was like, well, we could go that way maybe. And then this, well, oh, I think we look good on that steampunk sweat. Yes, let's keep it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, man, the way that hat looks on me. Oh, man, I like it. I dig it.
Yeah. I want to be like that dude on the camera. Oh, it's me. Oh, look, do you see that girl? It's you.
Yeah, it's so cool. It definitely gives you guys a standout quality just from the visual aspect, because you see the name Tales of Arken, and then you see you're all like kind of, you got the gears and you're all decked out and stuff, and it's like, this is interesting. People want to see what you're all about. So it really, really cool.
I think we achieved it. We're working on it because there are not many things about steampunk more than there are pipes, there are gears, maybe there are octopus and submarines, and maybe zeppelins, and that's all.
Periscopes.
What?
Periscopes.
Oh, periscopes, yeah. Do you have periscopes
Yeah.
there? But
Monocles.
it's like, yeah, monocles. It's like when you have all that stuff covered, it's like, what else do you have for a steampunk? And like, well, we have to think about how can we take this further. And like steampunk clothes are really expensive. And it's like, well,
Yes.
we have to go step by step, telling people that hey, we have steampunk aesthetics. We will try just to cover everything about that.
Yeah.
Just give us some time to save money for buying those clothes and those things from that.
We buy clothes from a Spanish band called Mosaico.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just that, like they
Second-handed shop.
Yeah, I don't know if they are second-handed. It's like they have a lot outdated clothes
Yes.
Yeah.
sold there for like low prices. And we
Yeah.
went there and was like, wow, €2 just for that shirt. Let's get it.
No, that's perfect. Recycling the stuff. That's very steampunk also to use kind of what you have at your availability and kind of put it. It's a very industrial future look,
Wait, I haven't thought about that, but you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's really neat. I mean, with gears and stuff, you wouldn't normally think about using that for clothes. So it's like you think of, oh, what do we have like extra of? What, just this industrial type of stuff. Let's incorporate it into our clothes. Huh, steampunk.
Yeah. Something like that by accident.
Yeah.
We have something here.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I gotta ask, how, if you could tell me a little bit about just the origins of the band, just how did you all meet each other with kind of a like-minded vision of the band and the style that you wanted to have? How did that all work out?
I was in like too many bands when I was younger, but all the bands that I were with, they were like more into playing covers and having fun and just being drinking and smoking, not thinking too much about music. And I've been always like, oh, I want to be a pro, even if I don't get any coin from that. But I just like want to create music. And I was talking like in my previous bands about, guys, we have to make music. I don't want to be spending my money on a rehearsal room just to be having fun.
A party band.
And, yeah, and I've grown tired of that. And I started Arken when it was just Arken with Billy, our bassist. I was talking with him, and it was something like, I want to start a progressive band. That's the first thing that came to my mind is, well, I want to be progressive. And I'm tired of people that doesn't have like compromise with that. And he was, yeah, totally, let's go. And I was like, I have a few songs here that we can record for an album. And he was, yeah, he's very supportive. Like when I was making the album on my room, just recording it. It was like, oh, dude, I can make it. It's just like I feel sad. I don't know if I can do that. Too much work. And he was like, you can do it, man. You cannot go sad. Let's go. You can do it. It was thanks to him and his supportive attitude that the album came out. But the problem that we had is that when it came the time for playing live, we didn't have musicians because he was just making the bass and rolls, and I was making at that time lead guitars and vocals. And we were trying like different people, but they were good just for a few shows, but not for getting into the band as full time. And then like looking for people. Someday, one friend that I had told me, I know a girl that can play drums really good. I can introduce you. And I know, oh, a
I
girl
wonder
that
who
play
that
drums.
is.
Yeah, I wonder. And then I knew her that she also knows the guitar player that came. What was your experience getting into the band?
Ooh.
Wow, that sounds so
I
good.
know, put her on the spot. Yeah. What did you think when they first approached you and were like, "Hey, we got this band. What do you think? You want to come on and join?"
I was looking for a band because I wanted to play drums. So I found Eric, and um, he he told me about Arken, but yeah, in the beginning.
Yeah, at the beginning, when I approached her, it was like I want to make a new band here. But after that, we decided that we were going to make a new band. It was like I just released an album in 2019. I think it was in 2019 when we met for the first time, and it was like, well, we have two options. We can just start a new band, or we can just take our first album because, well, the two members that we are just looking for a drummer and a guitar player, and you are looking for a bassist and a singer.
Yes, absolutely.
We can start with an just release album. We can start from here. Will be easier. That's where I'll come from there. So at first it was I don't want new people just to tell them, let's play my songs.
Right.
I think that they would prefer to make a new music, but she was really good with playing the first album. She even told me that I feel like that first album is mine too. I feel like I'm into this. This is my band now, isn't it?
Yes.
That's really cool. When did it come about to where you also sang as well as played the drums? You know, how did that come about? Because I think that's another thing that really gives the band a unique feel, is because I remember when I first listened to the song "The Fool and the Sage," and then all of a sudden, Hale, you started singing. I was like, oh wow, the drummer's singing too. You know, this is like a really nice mix between like the dual vocals, and you don't always see a drummer like singing. So how did that come to be, and what is it like being the drummer and also providing some support vocals as well?
Well, in 2016, I was in a band called Spycam with the current guitarist
Yeah, with our guitar player.
Alejandro. So, well, he in that band he sang a few songs, and me too. So we were like, you know, both singing, and well, he was playing guitars too and playing drums. So it comes from here.
Okay.
Yeah, when I knew that, like when I heard her singing, it was like what a waste just having her just playing drums. It's like I think I can take more from her. Like you sing too well, and I think that your vocals can add so much through our music, because the main difference that I feel between the first album and the second one, the EP, it's hearing her like, whoa, you are really a good singer. I know that it may be really hard just to play drums live while you are singing, but I need you to do this. Please do it for me.
It's like one way or another, you're gonna do this. Like,
Yeah.
do you also sing and play the drums live as well? Is that difficult
Yes.
for you to do?
If I practice, not too much.
Cool. Yeah, it's really neat seeing a drummer sing as well, because that's just not very common. One thing I want to talk about too is that latest single, which I have to say, the Allegory, your latest single, so good, so good. And
We're really glad for your
We
reaction.
really appreciate that.
We really appreciate
no,
that.
not at all. I was just so excited and hearing that, and just everything about it was so cool. And I always tell people sometimes when I do a reaction video, it's my very first listen, and you don't always fully get everything out of a song on a first listen. It's just my very first reaction. So I liked it a lot from that first reaction, but after I've been listening to it more, and I just like it more and more every time I hear it. I'm like, this song is so good. It's got everything about it. Great melody, great chorus, awesome musicianship, so cool. So how do y'all feel when you wrote the Allegory? That progression of getting to that point, and how did it feel, with all that coming together? What did the band think of that when Allegory kind of came to be?
I think Allegory has a strong 20th century vibe, like not only in performance but also in music.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to
Just to take that music from she means that the first half of the 20th century, like music from the 20s and the 30s, because we have the steampunk presence, but that the music doesn't sound steampunk at all. So we have to take something like the piano solo.
It's like you can see it in the piano sections, and the rhythm in drums, the guitar riffs. There are like a few jazz rhythms on the bridge.
And the jazz rhythm on that solo is really good. It's a really good drums on there. And when I was writing that song, I think I spent like 3 months thinking about that song, because I went on a journey to my land in Barcelona, and I went into a town on a mountain, and I was like walking on the town, seeing the mountains in the forest, and just the melody was on my head playing. The main melody that you're going to check there. I think I can make a good song with that. Then I came home, and I was like, I need to make this band sound like steampunk, like Clockwork metal. I was like, how do I do that? It's like it's really out of what I'm used to. Yeah. And I was like every night until 3 in the morning, like thinking and trying things, and like I want to take that part and evolve that part into that one. I want to get into the instrumental section and make the people feel like they're hearing something steampunk inspired. And then I came with that song to my bandmates. They were like, wow, this is really hard to play. How are we gonna make this? It was
there is a section particularly that it's so hard for me, but I think that I have already faced it. It's like
the prog section, the progressive section.
So prog section.
This is so prog. I think for prog snobs, I think that will be like, wow, they right here they are prog enough. They pass the bar. They pass the bar of being a progressive metal band. Good.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a lot of prog influences in there, and that's really cool. Pushing your talents to extreme. You know, I think that's when the best material tends to come from, is when you're really pushing yourself, you know, further than you thought that you could even go. And
I absolutely agree
there's
with
so
that.
many great elements to that song, vocally, the guitars, the drums, and I have to say that keyboard, oh man, that piano part just got me so. It's like this
I love the
honky
dance that you
tonk.
made. The dance
Yes,
that you made is
yes,
really
it's
great.
like this classical, almost like in a classic like Western saloon kind of,
Yeah,
you know.
Yes.
I was like, this is incredible. This is amazing. Like what
yeah.
the way
We
that
were
you
just
how did you fit all these different styles? Because I feel like it easily could have just become chaos, but
yeah.
you took all of these different melodies and all of these different sections and kind of put them all together. What was that like in the songwriting process? How did you fit all that and make it all flow?
Well, first of all, the first thing that I wanted on that song, and I think that we achieved, is like doing the best that we can individually, like best drums that we can, best vocals, both for her and for me, best guitars, and we. I tried to achieve that with that song, and I think that in Allegory you can hear the band as we want to be. Like this is who we are. But uh, somebody once told me that if you want to be a writer, you want to write novels, you have to hear a lot of well, you have to read a lot of books. That's what happens here. It's like I want to take that styles of music, like ragtime, for example. Like the piano section is inspired by ragtime, and I was like hearing too much music from the 30s and 40s and 50s, and it was really a really nice experience. Like I felt like I was there on a city in Chicago in the 30s with my hat, hearing the jazz and going to a bar and hearing that jazz and that blues.
Yeah.
And that really inspired me. Like this is and wrestling experience is really good. I feel good doing that, and I kind of feel sad when I have to go back to the present on my mind. But I had to study a lot of music just in order to write that song because it's really hard and I want to keep that sound on forward songs. I don't want to abuse that to the point that when you see that Tales of Arken just release a new song, you know what to expect from it.
Right.
I want to have that surprise thing on the songs. But here, to write that song and to every songwriter that have to improve this his songwriting, just hear a lot of music, not just metal, because metal is good, always good, but there's a ton of good music that is not implemented yet. It's like forgotten music that is really good, and we can learn too much from the past music.
I have so many influences from, you know, blues and jazz singers like Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That it's so cool, you know. It's so refreshing to hear that kind of style brought into like a modern day, because I have to confess, I am a huge fan. I listen a lot, and people may not know this, you know, being a power metal ranger and all, but I love the crooners, the music of the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Perry Como, Andy. I love that style. And that music, and you don't hear that it brought into like a modern day as much anymore. So hearing that you guys love like the 20s, the 30s, the old, you know, jazz and blues, and you're kind of incorporating that into the music. Oh, it's just so cool. It's just
Yeah,
so
just
insanely cool, and you made it
thanks.
work. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. I love it.
It's like taking a treasure that someone buried, and it's like, well, we have a treasure here. Let's take it off. Let rescue some things that we just already forgotten in music. More and more, it's like we're forgetting too many things that
Yeah.
past musicians made. It's just on the bottom of everything, and we have access to all of that.
I think
Just
that
no, no.
I think that Clockwork metal is just like that. It has power metal stuff, frog stuff,
Mhm.
and 20th century
In
stuff.
2023, maybe 19th century, end of 19th century, because
Yeah.
that time I think Ragtime, I think, is from the end.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Piano
yeah.
ragtime is from what we could hear if we go to a salon on the Wild West.
Yeah, exactly. You see them go on in there. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's so cool. And, you know, and that's very steampunk thing to do. Again,
Yeah.
kind of, it's that fusion of like industrial, older past, like raglan, you know, ragtime type of stuff, and bring it into this kind of futuristic scenario. So it fits beautifully. I didn't even think about that until y'all started mentioning that. So that's so cool. I also want to talk about that music video. What was that like shooting that music video? It was quite the production.
Mhm.
Did that
We
take a
made it
long time
ourselves.
to film all of that and get all that prepared?
Oof.
We made it on one day. We
One
made it on
day?
one day. Yes, because we asked for permission to that place for recording, and we just had one day. We used that. You know that
And the clothes,
the what?
the clothes were just for
Oh yeah, the
one
clouds. Yeah,
day.
we had to go to a rental place that rented clothes, and we went there like, can we please take the clothes? We have like 6 hours for recording everything until the sun like goes away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we asked it to the place that do you know the film Exodus and Game of
The-
Thrones? Game of Thrones, series.
oh, Game of Thrones. I never watched Game of Thrones. I know of it though. Yeah.
There's a place that they just make the setup for recording and then just let it abandoned.
Really?
You can go there. The Ridley Scott movie Exodus was made there too. So like they set up the village, they film the movie, and then they went away, and they let like the place there.
Just
We
this
just
empty place.
yeah, but the village is there. So we call and can we please go there and record it? Yeah, you have one day for doing it. And I would prefer to record like the van sections on later on the evening, like at sunset, because
Yeah.
I prefer that light. But we only have one day, and I prefer to choose like the part where she's singing with the flames behind. I
Yeah.
prefer that light. But yeah, we made it on one day. We made it ourselves all. Only the first video that we released after dark. That's the only video that we didn't make. But after that, we tried it with. I bought like the stuff we needed for recording, like the lights we're currently using, a good camera, and I try. I think I can do that. I think I can do that if I have the right people behind the cameras that will know what we want to do.
Yeah.
It was really a challenge because this next album that we're making is like a concept album, and that's the first track of it, like the opening section. And we wanted to make the story like good for scene, but not like weird. We didn't want the people thinking, "What are those freaks doing? Like, what the hell is that?"
They already thinking.
Yeah, but maybe some people will think it bad if we try just to make a fantastic setting. It's not so steampunk, but it's like it's in a steampunk world.
Adventurous.
Yeah, it's an adventure, it's a steampunk world. But before we get into this steampunk place, like we are on a prison, and she on the guitar on a village, like out of the city, out of the urbanistic place. But we will go to the steampunk places right on time. But
Very
we
cool.
first, as we build the flames behind her, I had to make that with After Effects. I will have to build that city where everything will go, so it will take like a bit of time, I think.
Yeah. Wow, well, that's cool to look forward to. You know, it was really well suited for just this kind of desolate looking world, you know, where you're at. That's wild. It's just this place that was built out there for a movie, and then they built it and left it, and then now you were able to use it. So that's perfect. And yeah, I was gonna
And that day,
yeah.
they were so hot.
Yeah, and we were like with the steampunk clothes, like sweating. Wow.
Oh
We
my
were
gosh.
recording like 2 p.m.
Yes, at 2 p.m. I remember she was sick at that time. Like she was, oh, my head is aching so much.
Oh
Just
no.
have a little patience.
Oh man, but it's like you had to work through it because you had one day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have one day.
That's
I'm glad.
incredible.
With the result. I'm glad. Like the previous videos were like I want to make something vintage. Uh, but on the Full on the Stage, that song was recorded like 6 months before Allegory, only 6 months after preparation. The only difference is that we had a better camera. It's like we've been without releasing a video for 10 years because one camera is from the 2010 and the other one is from the 2020. So
Yeah. Oh man, that's wild. Yeah, I was gonna ask about the future. You know, I'm glad you mentioned that there's an upcoming album coming out because you even teased at the end of the video to be continued.
to be continued, yes.
Yes. So, what can we expect from the future? What do we have to look forward to?
So many steampunk adventures.
Oh, that's exciting. Very exciting.
We will try just to tell the most unique stories that we can. I can say one thing just to you and for your audience,
Oh,
and is
look at
that one of the next videos of that concept album, sorry for saying that on live, but will be on a train. We are looking for a train for recording the next album, the next video. Like
Wow.
we're working on a song called just Steam Train. We had that song, we love it. It sounds really Clockwork with
Yeah.
so many ragtime parts and a blues section, and it's like, wow, we need a train for the song Steam Train. That's
It's like pure single.
just it's for a song thought to be a single. It's
Yeah.
like we want this song to be out as a single, because I think we raised the bar too much on Allegory, and I'm afraid that if we make another release now, people will think, well, it's good, but not as good as Allegory, and I was kind of afraid of that. That I think we will keep what we're doing good, because all the next songs that we will make are for this concept album, and also we think that previous ones, Nautilus, Lady Utopia, and the Full on the Stage will be part of that world called Arken. So all the stories that we will telling from now on forward are just tales, stories from a world called Arken.
Wow, that's so cool.
So
Wow,
you have to be ready to expect the unexpected. That's the conclusion that I can say about that.
Ooh, that's really exciting because I think Allegory got us all ready already, for like the unexpected and surprises and it really got the momentum going, and it's exciting to hear that y'all are going to keep that momentum moving, literally with a train. So
Yes.
that's really, really cool. I can't wait, to hear more and that you're building this world. What's it like writing these stories? Where does that inspiration come? These stories that you're creating for this concept album?
It's like it's kind of a challenge because it's easy to say let's make a concept album. We are just already making tales, like just write a huge tale and put it onto an album. I wanted to make Chronicles of the Fall a concept album, but when I tried to make like a connection between songs, it was really hard because it doesn't feel like a concept album. So I will just make individual songs.
Yeah.
And the main inspiration of at first when we made Nautilus, we had obvious influence from Julio Verne. I don't know what's the name on English, but she's of the book, that undersea Nautilus and steampunk steam. But like we want to talk about fantasy, but not on the classical power metal song of a warrior riding a unicorn that go to a castle and face a dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, dragon.
Right.
We want that. I want to make something that feels unique. Like the steampunk aesthetics is. I've seen other bands trying to make something similar with the aesthetics, but it's just they don't have too much room for moving because steampunk it is what it is. But we want to make a whole world full of fantasy with floating islands and interesting stories that, in a metaphor way, speaks about both the story and the personal, transcendental linear part of it. That's where the inspiration comes. It's like we have fears, both as a band and both as individuals. We have fears, we have worries, we have things that we want to talk about, but we don't want to make a song called. I'm afraid that no one will hear this song, so we just we try to cover it with the fantasy setting that I think we're building.
Wow, really cool. That's super exciting. You know, you mentioned floating islands and things like that. Just this really cool world and all these stories that take place within. That's just really needed. You know, something the listener can get lost in, both with the lyrics and with the music, and that connection is just really awesome. And it seems like you're very passionate about what you're creating. You know, the band as a whole. So what
We're sorry for interrupting.
No,
even,
no.
we're even thinking about making short films in order to explain the story, because if people just see the music videos, they will say, well, I don't think that's a concept album. So in order to help that, we will be making short films. The problem is if we were to tell, if we have to speak on the videos, we don't know.
Probably
Yeah.
speaking videos.
Yeah, we have to do speaking videos, so we don't know if we will make it in Spanish or in English, because I think that the correct way is to make the videos on English, because we are singing in English, so we have to make it that way, or instead of just speaking and acting Spanish and making subtitles on it. But the short films we are thinking about as a extra for the concept album will help a lot to get into the story and the fantasy that we're gonna build.
Oh, that's so awesome. So some short films and just this whole big event really around the Tales of Arken. That's really exciting. And you're saying you may have to speak on the videos like a narrator kind of thing.
Yes, if we were, I was thinking about making like a narration, maybe with her vocals, that I think will be better on a narration video than me or someone else speaking. But also, I think that it will be good if we acted, like if we like have little conversations on the videos.
Yeah.
We haven't decided yet, because we're like focused on the music, but we are thinking about. Shall we make just a narration and a video with pictures and someone is speaking over, or shall we like act on the videos and try to make a movie? I don't know if we're ready for that. We have to try it first.
Well, that's so cool. I think you guys should definitely act. You should just go for the whole thing. That's so cool. Wow.
We'll try. We'll just try.
Yeah. That's so exciting. So it seems like you all are just so excited. The whole band is just really, you know, all on board with this project. It really, it's a project. It's not just an album. It's like a full project, a full experience that you're creating here, both world building, music, short films. Like, it's just this whole thing. What keeps you all motivated, and what keeps you all excited to do this? Because it seems like it could easily feel overwhelming at times.
It is overwhelming. What do you think about that?
I think we trust in us. I think that we can deal with it. We can do great things
together. Yeah. It's our when
we
you
have potential.
I think that we have potential. Not so humble for us to say it, but yes, we feel like we trust on each other. Like, we all think in ourselves like a team. We feel like we are like some kind of little music family, and maybe it's sad to get noticed on the social media today, because too many projects, too many bands. How can we draw attention from people?
Right.
And many times I question them. I speak with them like, what happens if we release an album and we just have like 20 hearings of the whole thing? Shall we stop and just get into something else? And for me, I don't know. I want to hear her answer too, but for me, I couldn't just stop. If to stop making music for me is like to stop breathing. is not always is good, and not only do you have the satisfaction, you have to face many failures. I think many all musicians and even you, like making your videos for YouTube, you have to face different situations, and maybe sometimes it's like, why am I doing this? This is worth it. For me, it's like I couldn't stop. For me, it's totally worth it, even if only one person hears my music. For example, when you did your reaction video, it was like, wow, just for that, because this man here like thinks that what we did is good, made it worth it. Absolutely. So it's like, wow, 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 I have to keep on doing this. I think I can do it. And if I were alone, I don't know if I could go forward, but I have my bandmates with me, so I feel like good. Like I have them. As soon as they are with me, I will keep on making music and writing songs for Tales of Arken. And now I want to know your opinion about that.
That's awesome. Well, I want to say you're too kind to give me that much praise for checking out your song, but it was 100% my pleasure. I loved hearing it and everything. So yeah, both songs, but yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it. But yes, Hale, what motivates you? What keeps you going?
I think that we have a very special project, and the people in it are great too, and great musicians. So I think that we are like, well, I think that we are skilled people, so we can face tough songs and difficult level of music. So mm, I like to play difficult music. I don't know.
You like to
And your
challenge
motivation?
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
That's so cool, taking on such a big project. And one thing I want to say too is, in the songwriting, Eric, it feels very something like you're not trying to imitate other music or anything like that. Like it's very much your own. What would you say, with regards to your songwriting process when it comes to creating the sound that you create? Because, again, it doesn't sound like Tales of Arken is trying to be power metal, or it's trying to be progressive metal, or it's trying to be symphonic metal, or whatever. You're just writing, I guess, from the heart, or just what is that like, your songwriting process?
I think we just want to be ourselves. So as you were about to say something.
Um, for this new album, we're trying to create our identity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we incorporated like 20th century music, and I think that it's like nuestro sello.
Yeah, or level,
Yeah.
or signature, maybe.
Yeah.
It's better said. It's just that when I write songs, I don't. When people ask me about what are your influences, it's like I don't have any. Like not on purpose, at least. I'm sure that I'm influenced by many people, but I don't think at the time of writing a new song, I want the song to sound a bit of Rhapsody, Iron Maiden, and maybe a bit of Queen Reich. It's I know that many people do that. Like we have a band, we have to make a song. We have thrash metal. We have to take influences from Megadeth, Slayer, Megadeth.
Yeah.
At the time of writing the song is like I want to make what I feel at the moment. If I feel like I want to make a melodic song, I just try to find the melodic side of just the main melody for a song. Many times I'm like driving on the street and it's raining, and I look through a window and I think, oh, I have this melody. It could work for a tourist. It's like a little elf is on my shoulder, whispering the melody for real.
A musical
like,
elf.
Yes, it just come to my mind. It's like, well, I don't know where I got this. Maybe I heard something that is on my mind, and I just kind of turn into what I'm thinking right now. And then
Yeah.
when I get to my home, it's like I take my guitar and try to give a shape to the song. Sometimes I have a song ready in a month, and maybe some other times I have songs for too many years. For example, a problem that I had with the Fall on the Stage is that it's a song that I wrote when I was like 17 maybe. It's a song that I wrote more than 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I didn't feel ready for that song until when I were with them and I saw that the main melody and it was like we can make a song out of here. I have like the chorus, the main verse, the main melody. Let's try and make a song from that. So sometimes songs just take 10 years, but I need that song to have a special sound. I like to call it soul. If
Mhm.
that song, the song could be like, wow, the most the coolest song on the world. It sounds like really great. What a great riff, great vocals. But if I don't feel like this song has an identity and it sounds like it's kind of alive, let's say it.
Yeah.
I discard the song. I discarded so songs that my bandmates told me that that song is not bad. We can work on that song, and it was like I don't feel like this song is worth it.
Right.
Maybe this song could work as a single, or it could work on people. They will like it probably, but if I don't feel comfortable with the song, if I don't feel that the song is that one that I need to release and show to the world, I don't do it. And of course, I never take a direct influence like let's be like this other band. That's probably what why we went with a Clockwork metal thing. It's like we don't want to be just a power metal album, band, because if we release an album with a power metal sound and progressive elements and then release a song that sounds like I don't know 70s rock, then people will say, well, what are you doing? Is that
Yeah.
we don't want to have a label because of that, because maybe we feel right now that we want to make this, but we don't know if one album forward from here we will want to be something absolutely different.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That's so neat. Uh, yeah, it's something that's I think very appreciated in the music world. You know, when you write something like that, and not just something like, let's get something on the radio, let's get something that'll be popular or whatever. No, you're writing for what you really feel.
I think that you can notice when a band is making music just for selling it.
yeah,
Like I want to become popular, so I'm doing my music just for that reason.
yeah,
And you can also hear when a band is just making music because they have a guitar and a bass and a drum and they have the chance to record some things and they do it. And you hear this like, well, yeah, good thing here, but I don't feel that this music is something different. It's not unique because it doesn't have a soul.
mhm,
If your song doesn't have a soul, I notice it, and you notice as a musician probably. I don't know if regular people will get to think about that, but I think I notice when a band is just making music because they want to make music, they feel like into it, they need to write music, and they really love what they're doing,
yeah,
and they don't care about the profit and about the success of the song.
yeah. There's definitely a difference there. You know, you can hear it for sure. So what is the thing that you would like, you know, the listeners, the folks that listen to your music, or what would you like them to take away from your music?
What I personally want for people that hear music to take away with them is not just thinking, "Wow, that's a cool song here," and then move to another thing. Probably the challenge that I want to face every time I write music or I create something like a music video, story, something like that, is that I want people to feel. I write the songs in a very technical way because I love progressive metal, and you can notice that there are hard, uh, highly complex things on the instruments.
Yeah,
But I don't want people just to say, "Wow, these guys are just hard to listen and hard to play, like doing theater." I want people to feel things. I want people just to hear it and get something from it.
Yes, we want to share our histories.
Yeah, we will just to tell stories to people, and the people will enjoy it. I want people to be proud of it. I want that man that takes one video, for example, Nautilus. It's a video that's it's just funny. We're not serious in that. We're just on a submarine going undersea and facing like an adventure. I want people just to love of it. I want people to smile watching it and oh, it's a cool song. But I like the video. I like the story. I'm having fun with that. Because making people feel things is more important than just showing them how
How
good,
technical you
yeah,
are.
exactly, how technical, how good we are playing a music or singing.
Yeah.
Oh, look how high I can sing.
Right.
That's not the thing that I want. I want people just to feel wow, that this song just sends a message to me, both with the story they are telling and both with the music they are playing. I feel something here into this.
Yeah, just take the listener, bring them into your world.
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah. That's awesome. I think you are well on your way to accomplishing that. That's for sure. And from what you've said, there's plenty more to come in the future. I imagine that you're both very excited for the future of the band, and to keep creating music and all of that. Is there anything else that you want to say to everybody out there listening, or with regards to the future of the band and just what keeps driving you and what folks can really look forward to?
I know that people doesn't listen to complete albums anymore. Just only us freaks.
Yeah, personal.
What'd you call us?
But we're trying to give to people this kind of music, like easier mode.
Yeah, I think that what was just trying to say that is like progressive metal is just for a few,
Yes.
a few group of people, but what we're doing here maybe it's a bit complex, but we're trying to make it easy to listen to everyone. Like, oh, complex music that is not just to riff on a song.
It's like releasing singles. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, like making non-commercial music easier to people to reach. And for me, on my side, I want to tell everyone that is watching this that both if you're a musician or if you just like to listen to music, remember that the social media, television, and probably Spotify is telling you what you have to listen, what is on fashion, and you probably are not willing to take the risk to hear anything else. But remember that there are people that are making music just because they like to make music, not because they are watching to get any profit from it. So one listen from you, one chance of spending your time, your valuable time on hearing music from other people is giving them a a higher profit that you could imagine, because it's not money, it's that you are spending something that it's more hard to take time, your time. So keep on listening music, both if you're a musician or both if you're just a listener. Give your time to bands that you think that deserve it, because if you don't support the music that you like, it will go to waste. And keep on watching channels like Power Metal Ranger, because he's doing a great job giving the chance.
Supporting little bands.
Yeah, the chance the bands to get seen, to get on your screen, and he's giving like opinions from someone that knows a lot about music and power metal. So keep doing this, keep listening to good music, keep watching this channel, and thank you so much for Metal Ranger for the chance that you gave us here today.
My absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for the kind words. And yes, I could not agree more. We are constantly bombarded every day by what we are supposed to not only listen to, but just how we're supposed to behave, what we're supposed to wear, just all that kind of stuff. So, you know, be your own person, you know, listen to what you like. Just because a band may not be like, you know, playing on the radio does not mean that they're not worth your time at all. You know, that there's so much great stuff to discover out there. So always search, you know, look for things that you enjoy and listen to it. You know, even if other people aren't listening to it, listen to it if you like it. So just always do that, without a doubt. You know, listen to what speaks to you. And I appreciate you both, Eric and Hale, for doing what you love, and you know, not listening to what people are telling you to make, but making what you truly want to make. And there's a lot of people out there, of course, that appreciate that as well, and that are enjoying your music videos, and are looking forward to the stories you're going to continue to tell. I know I'm definitely one of those people looking forward to that. So thank you so much for your time and for chatting to me. It just means the world. So thank you again for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And everyone out there, thank you so much for watching this video, for checking it out. I'm going to put all of Tales of Arken social media information in the description down below, including links to their videos that they've released as singles, such as The Fool and the Sage, Allegory, and other things. But you can check out their YouTube channel, all that, and look at everything that they've released, all that they create, and follow them to see what they continue to do in the future. All that's in the description below. And again, thank you all so much for tuning in and checking this out. Big thanks again to Tales of Arken. Wish you the best, and I look forward to hearing what you continue to create. Catch you all next time. Ranger out.